this right back, Charlie's definitely. Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like there's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like
I reload it, man. You ain't heard this for like 48 hours, man. It's the hottest single. Get this in the charts, man.
defending. I think it's like
It's selfish thing. One more, I promise.
there's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
Come on, Ian. Like the big man Ian Wright just said there. People deluded. I'm back again. It's been 48 hours. Almost forgot my lines. I can't lie. I hope you're doing well and safe. I hope last week was great for you lot. I hope you lot enjoyed your weekend. I hope you and your loved ones are fit and healthy and ready for the weekend. And I'm wishing you lot all the best in your personal, private, and professional lives, man. Now, as you lot know, we've been dealt a spanner in the works with what's going on globally. You know, the Premier League's been postponed. Shout out to everyone who was doing up European games and that. There's rumors this week, games will go ahead, games won't, you know, depending on what article, we'll get into it, what article you read on Arsenal. The PSV game in the Europa League is going to go ahead, then it's not. You'd imagine Europa League and / Champions League football is not affected. That being said, I believe Rangers' game has been moved to Wednesday, so there's a lot of things. And the way it stands, you know, if we don't play Burnley, you know, we're back on October the 1st, 12:30, North London derby settings. Hopefully the Halen Demons do their thing. As usual, one love for you lot supporting the channel, people. I can't lie, I was looking at my YouTube analytics today and it was like, it's your birthday. I'm like, bro, this ain't April the 13th. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, man, it is, you know. I can't lie, I don't know how old this channel is. I think we started in 2016. We're now in 2022. What a mission it's been, you know. I've made a lot of bad decisions in my life. This was actually a fantastic one. And I wouldn't say my life's changed, but it has, isn't it? Like, there's been so many people I've interacted with, so many, you know, I'll have to write a book on it. It's nothing amazing, but and it all started with just one simple video upload and we're there, man. So yeah, I hope you're doing well and safe. Obviously, we've been linked with Sane. There's a couple of other talking bits and pieces. You know, we're not getting Sane and that, but still, the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately, and it's not like there's many talking points, man. Use Google, please, or just wait. Hit the like button if you haven't. You know, my voice isn't as lost as it was, you know, obviously. Certain things had to go down. I hope the Twitch gang's doing well and safe. Good morning, right back at you as usual. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night to you lot. See in the building. Alright, Q, I was asking for you. I was like, oh, there's a Juve, I can't see Q. Where is he, boy? What happened to you? Relax, still. I can't talk too tough. You know, there's people watching, but yeah, man, I can't lie. I you know what? If this summer was the World Cup, I deserve the Golden Boot. I can't lie. Benzema thing. I've scored a lot of goals. Like, I've scored a ridiculous amount of goals. I can't lie to you, man. But we have to talk off this. What's up from America, DG? Listen to your show every morning at work. Keep up the good work. You're too kind, my guy. You're actually too kind, man. I wish I could cry, man. Appreciate that. DG, how's life? Could be better, could be worse. You know, I was looking at my analytics. I was like, damn, man, I want 50,000 subscribers. Then I want 100, you know. But yeah, man, we're doing all right, man. You know, I think my problem in life, I always it's not that I'm stuck in the moment, but I guess I don't really look back in it. It's like a football manager, you know. If we was to beat Man City tomorrow for Arsenal, everyone apart from Mikel Arteta could be happy. And I say that obviously he would be happy, but he's got to think about the next 3 points. The game's been and gone. And I kind of think about that. And sometimes I feel in life, well, for me anyways, you don't consider what you're doing, where you're going. Well, obviously where you're going, but what you've actually done in it. So I need to just pat myself on the back a bit more. And yeah, it's my channel's birthday. So big up to you lot, man. Like the Nightbot said, to get all your DG merch, hit up the following for extra live streams and videos. Subscribe to me on YouTube on that as well, people. Including this, we've got 3 live streams or 2 others. At 2:50, we're going to watch the first 2 episodes of that Halen documentary. That's going to be on Twitch, obviously for copyright laws. So if you're not following on Twitch, you're shagging yourself. And also on Twitch, 4:30 business. And then apart from that, I need to cut out some clips from me, Matisse, and Rancy stream. We need to get the channel breathing again. So it is what it is. Of course, man, you missed out. I don't know where you was, man. And I swear that's the last one of Summer Q, man. I know you got a motive, and I know there's something. I know you can pull a rabbit out the hat, man. I know there's something. I know someone might be done, but I know the vibes ain't done, man. I know there's got to be something, man. As I said, life sweet, man. Shout out, Cake. Again, it's lovely to see you lot back here again, man. It's been like 48 hours we ain't been locked in. Dogmeister, appreciate that as well. In the cut, scary sight. 23 likes, could be better, could be worse. Where's most of my Twitch analytics saying? Can't see because we're not actually clicked into it. Obviously, I need to view if everything's going right with the stream or we're in problems, man. All right, shout out the St. Vincent ones. You should have patterned, but in December. Okay. Obviously, it's a JA and Barbados thing, but when I forget it's a Vincey flag and operate as well, man. Well, you should have arrived, man. What's good, multi-millionaire? I'm trying to be on a mission to get you on your namesake, really. Apart from that, it's all blessed, man. Just enjoying a 2-2 coffee. I needed that. It's been 48 hours without coffee, but it's been rare enough before this. So it's nice to be a normal citizen again. I heard there's something on the 30th of October. No, 30th of September, 1st of October. There's things and stuff, man. Stuff and things. Well, find something. Come on, bro. Find something, man. You know, I don't do much. As much as I love you lot on YouTube, I'd sit here all the damn time. Active. Oh, shout out Broccoli Gooner as well, because I see him, you know, he's normally in the comments. I see him as well, man. I see him. You see, I'm not an intimidating person anyways, but I'm not a scary person. If you let see me say, well, God, shout out 2-3, man, the YouTube members, appreciative of such. Before we obviously look at Arsenal-centric news, man, I don't even know what's going on in the world of football. Obviously, I heard Vinicius Jr. did a madness. See, even Sky Sports, he looks tired. Like, there's really no news. Obviously, with what's been going on, everything's tired globally. Tired, and more tired. Well, the most exciting thing I can see here, apparently, Diego Costa's been granted a work permit to move to Wolves. So, big him up. He'll get his moving, you know. Hopefully, he patterns Chelsea when they play each other, people. We might as well look at the Athletic very quickly. Shout yourself, man, and shout the nation. One love to you lot. There's 2 parts to being human, DG. What you experience and what you reflect on. It's crazy how easy it is. How easy to feel like contemplate completely a different person when you look back on things. Oh no, man. I hear you. I'm very much like that, man. I think I'm too goal orientated. I'm always thinking about the next game, innit? Like, I don't like to rest on my laurels. Obviously, David Ornstein's come out with his column. Apparently, Kante is not accepting Chelsea contract, where obviously they probably need to move on from him as good as he is. Rashford has left his agency ally. So, boy, I don't know about any of that. But if you're, you know, big up Kante, you know, again, for Chelsea, you can't say no to any of these players, but you've given Koulibaly a 5-year deal. Well, 4 years with an option of another one. Aubameyang signed a decent deal. I don't know in terms of contract length. And Kante, at some point, you're going to be picking up the pieces, man. So it is what it is. Apparently, Rashford parts with aid who helped drive campaign to end poverty. Big up Rashford for that. Why a 24-year-old footballer is doing more than the government to make sure little kids are getting at least 3 meals or at least a breakfast, I don't know, but that tells you everything. That, you know, already wealthy families, RIP everyone, but already wealthy families, courtesy of the taxpayer, are going to be paying for funerals and paying for the rest of it on top of colonial powers. But you can't help people that, you know, are going to drive this future. You know, there's a whole heap of kids out there. He could be very much be, I don't know, the next president, someone who cures cancer, all of these sort of things. And all my man needs is a chance to fucking eat some food. You know, you can't pick who you're born into. It says everything about this world, innit? There's, you know, everything about this world. It's absolutely disgusting. Who knows, man, if you gave some of the jewels back to Africa and everywhere else, you know, maybe, just maybe, there might be stuff to do something decent, but you know, this world's too far removed from decent things, man. So yeah, Rashford's moving away from that. Big up Rashford for doing that, whatever you think about him. There's been a lot of noise around UEFA and Russia and Bosnia and all their friendlies as well. People, Edin Dzeko's getting corned. Apparently they're trying to play that a day before the World Cup starts. I don't know if that's sensible. It is what it is. Saudi chief would love Ronaldo move. Now, apparently Saudi Arabia, along with, I think, Portugal and Spain, they're bidding to host a future World Cup. Obviously, if you get Cristiano Ronaldo, there's marketing reasons behind that. So I have to see. Obviously, Ronaldo tried to leave United. It did not bang. You're going to have to hold it up until January / the end of the window, people. Chelsea hierarchy tried to keep Gilmour before Tuchel sacking. And now I've read this already. They basically said, hold on, don't leave because there might be a change of management. And apparently Tuchel said, you know what, Potter will be perfect for you. Funny how life works out, innit? Hopefully Billy Gilmour can go and kick on at 21. Do your thing, man. Is what it is. Arsenal's youth head leaves now. Yousuf is a very good at his job. You know, he's the reason we signed Renell Walters, Mika Beref, Salahuddin, who's technically going to be sold for a profit. Sosa from West Brom, who I think can go all the way into our first team. You know how good he is, I don't know, but yeah, man, I think he's lit still. And there's been a lot of changes, but you know, there are rumors he might be going to join Burnley. You'd imagine it's an elevation of his current role where he's taking on more. You know, everybody wants to aspire for more in their career, so it's a bitter pill to see him leave. But Yousuf is a very nice person, man. You know, I don't want to talk too tough, but he's a very nice person, man. So yeah, appreciate you for the work you've done. It's unfortunate you're leaving. I'm keen to see how Arsenal restructure and redevelopment that people in that regards. And obviously we didn't sign a single, I don't think we signed an academy prospect this season, apart from the scholars. Maybe there's a change of direction we're trying to go in. I don't know, people. So yeah, it is what it is where that's concerned. West Brom are looking for new auditors. Rangers scout joins English FA. All right, poach some Scottish players that are eligible to play for England then. And obviously large up David Ornstein on that one. I don't know why. Brazil were doing the man them a bit dirty, but Martinelli, Jesus have been left out of the final squad, but they're bringing this Anthony brother. I have to start, I'm a bit sour. He patterned us in it, so I have to run agendas. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. You know, we have to run that one. Gabriel's missed out as well. Maybe the real dons are being rested, apart from Neymar and that, and the other dons are there, man. This is the Brazil squad. It doesn't matter because we're bringing things home. I mean, spare a thought for the defenders, man. You got Vinicius Jr., Richarlison's done all right, Redrago's lit, Cunha's all right. You know, hopefully Firmino and Cunha miss out. We get our Jesus and Martinelli in there. We do our thing. Playing for Brazil is not everyone. That's why my man Martinelli has won Olympic gold with his country. You mean? We don't do this pointless friendly thing, you know. Edu knows Tite. He said, you know what, leave the dons out. Bring up the joke men, innit? Got guys bringing guys like Richard. I don't know about them. Anthony, the last Anthony brother for United who scored on his debut, it ain't really kicked on. I have to be a bit sour and water it down, man. I can't lie, I'm jealous. But yeah, man. Paqueta's there, Fred's there. Ugh. But yeah, it's calm. We go again. It's minor. Speaking of Brazil, technically Italy, Thiago Motta has joined Bologna as their new head coach. Minor. Jesus, I have to assume it's being rested, man. I know Jesus for me goes to the World Cup. I think out of the three that are not in that squad, Martinelli's probably the most at risk purely because of everyone you've got there. I can't lie, I rate Bremer, but I don't think Bremer's been that good for Juventus. You know, I watched Juventus versus. I fell asleep for the end of the game, but who they play, man? Can't remember who Juventus just played, but they were getting patterned. Bremer scored after concede the pen. Now I only hate when he plays for Manchester United, bro. He played for Brazil. I'm not going to talk too much. December, 6 times. The sins of what happened against Germany a few years ago will be avenged, man. The revolution will be televised. Anyone who ever dares to try to clip me, I'm gonna be like, I never said that. What happened? Are you lot snitching? Apparently, football is at risk of further disruption with the Premier League clubs unlikely to agree on reversing fixtures. So this is already a congested season. We don't know how it's gonna we don't know how it's gonna develop. We don't know how things are gonna go on. Hey, I didn't say you know you can write as many paragraphs as you want. I didn't say we're signing Anthony. I just looked Sane. I just looked at the rumors and that's what's being left, man. I don't know what you're saying, you know. I always say the dream is free. The house was sold separately. So yeah, man, great paragraph. You know, send the paragraph to your gal. But yeah, as I was saying, we don't know what's going to happen this season. You know, there's the World Cup, but we don't know the effects of the World Cup. Forget for a sec the players that are playing. That's obvious. What about the players that are not? Because let's just say you got a 25-man squad. Make it a bit easier for this example. 5 of your players are kick on and go to the World Cup. they're going to need rest and all these things. But what are you going to do with the other players? They're not just going to be able to sit at home. It's essentially going to be like lockdown. You know, surely every club in the Premier League and maybe elsewhere, if your guys get called up, surely you've got to do mini preseason camps, warm weather camps, play some friendlies, because everybody's got to stay fit, really and truly. So condensing these fixtures isn't really helping anyone. In terms of the Queen dying, obviously thoughts are with her family and that, but the world keeps spinning. Surely it would have been better to do the black armbands, the minute clap / the silence. You know, very few things in life bring people together, much less football. It could have brought people together. It is what it is, really and truly. Now, apparently there's fears over safety concerns. As usual, you want everybody to stay safe. You know, you want safety first. Apparently the police force are not going to be out there in their numbers. So apparently one potential solution under discussions involves London clubs playing away from home next weekend instead of at their own stadiums. But this idea is unlikely to prove popular, with clubs who have to host a new home game at 1 week's notice, owing to complications that come with staffing matches at short notice. So it's crazy. You know, and again, we've already got a mad, you know, we would have had an international break already if it wasn't for the World Cup after, I believe, the third week of the season. Obviously, you know, the Europa League and Champions League, they're being played very quickly. It's a madness, man. It is what it is. So, yeah, don't know why the Athletic is freezing. In relation to Arsenal's Europa League clash with PSV, I can't lie, it keeps changing. According to what, and we're going to go over some more. We're probably just going to have to find out from Tuesday, Wednesday, and whatever. What do you think of Valverde's goal? He's a bad boy. You know, Valverde, for me, is going to be one of the best midfielders in the world. Obviously, he plays somewhat wide right as well as in midfield. I think people sleep on his technical abilities. You know, he scored a cracker of a goal, you know, against Betis. Lovely assist for Vinicius. I don't think it was in the Champions League final, but definitely in them latter stages of the Champions League. I don't remember if it was against PSG, City, or what's the other, maybe even Chelsea. But Valverde put a lovely assist for Vinicius. Again, I think he's a wonderful player. He's tenacious. He's all of them. And I'm a bit sour because if you go back and look, he actually, I know Arsenal always get a lot of heat about we tried and we could have got this guy, but we genuinely was trying to get him, and work permit laws weren't kind to us. Valverde's not hearing it. It probably wouldn't have worked out for him if he would have been at Arsenal. Probably would have been sold on or whatever, but it would have been lit. But yeah, Arsenal's Europa League clash. Smash the like button, by the way, people, and don't forget 2:50 we're watching the Halen doc on Twitch. 4:30 we're playing FM. But Arsenal's Europa League clash with PSV, is likely to go ahead. United fans probably cheering them on as well. Arsenal's Europa League home game against PSV is likely to go ahead after the North London club were informed by the Met Police they are comfortable with it taking place. All fixtures taking place in the UK over the weekend of September the 10th to the 11th have been postponed after the death of Queen Elizabeth, as you know, on Thursday. Arsenal, though, are scheduled to face PSV in midweek before next round of league games. Chelsea and City are also due to play Champions League home matches next week. There are concerns that next weekend's round of Premier League games, with Arsenal due to play Brentford on Sunday, are at risk of also likely being called off. It's expected Arsenal will officially confirm the PSV match is on over the weekend. Following the Brentford match, there is the final international break before the World Cup begins. So that's a bit peak. So really, if you're not in any club, whether that's England, Brazil, and all these things, if you're not kind of in the international setup now, this is your last sort of chance. That's it, innit, really. There's only one more chance, but this is the last chance. So the bulk of players have probably been picked for a hot minute now, innit? So we're going to have to see how that one develops. But provided we miss both of them games, we come back with a cracker of a game. You know, we play in the North London derby, 12:30 kickoff October the 1st. I just have a funny feeling they'll move that game as well. Not in terms of we won't play it. I don't think it'll be at 12:30. I don't know, but yeah. What else has been said here in terms of popular headlines? Come on, Athletic. What are you lot saying? Why do you think the clubs agreed to this cancellation of games, DG? It's not that the league forced it. Obviously, honouring the Queen and all them things there, really. I don't think it was a single club. You got to remember, all these people are brethren, you know. You might support Chelsea, I might support United, I might support Arsenal, Q might support United, but they're all brethren. They all go same schools and all these things. It's a coordinated effort. You know, maybe some clubs said, F that, I want to play. Others said no, but it's a coordinated effort. They were probably briefed by the Premier League. The government said you don't have to not play. Again, I don't follow other sports like that, but Rugby League said we're keeping it moving. And obviously, the European games are a bit irrelevant. Apparently, Tommy Tuchel said he's devastated at leaving Chelsea after being sacked. Hey, Most people get sacked, they don't get a couple million. So I know it's calm, man. It's calm. As I said, Rangers Champions League game against Napoli's been pushed back. Graham Potter's asked Brighton fans for forgiveness after Chelsea departure. They can't begrudge you, man. You know, it's a good opportunity for you, really and truly. Apparently, there were 3 p.m. games played, but Saturday, I'll be real, football didn't exist to me, man. There's gal about and that, but yeah, man, it is what it is. I'm joking. It's a disclaimer. If anyone's, you know, I don't want to hear nothing via WhatsApp and things. I'm chatting. But yeah, Athletic seems dead still. That seems that, man. That seems that where the Athletic is there. The defending was awful. La Liga defending always looks tin pot, but it is what it is, man. We're gonna get into a couple more headlines in just a sec, but let me see what you lot are saying. I'm boying you lot, man. Where is it? All right, Broccoli Gooner. My guy, see you in the cup. Shit. The rich stay rich because they only care about the rich, DG. Hey, man, they only care about themselves, but they ain't got no empathy. And a lot of people that come from nothing and become rich, they're like, well, I did it. Forget you lot then. It's always someone else's problem, you know. I think in life, I don't think the law to everything should be taxing the rich, but also I think there should be a level playing field for those that are not rich, really and truly. There needs to be a middle ground where if you take risk, you deserve to benefit, but also at the same time, I don't even like the term, but how you treat those at the bottom of society, for want of better terms, how you do them sort of things it speaks everything. Now, many people would argue there's not too many countries, you know. I used to work in the job center, so I would see a lot of people that were between a rock and a hard place. They're trying to work, they're trying to do things. Health might be against them and things, but you also saw some people, and it's not just them, the rich are no different, that just want to scrounge and act up and things like that. And this is one of the only countries where you can actually do fuck all, have a bunch of kids, want to do fuck all, when you get your little benefits, get your little £200 a week, you get a house, you get things like that. And I don't think that's wrong, but I don't think that's right. I think that should be for people who are genuinely in a rock and a hard place. A lot of people don't want to do stuff, really. So yeah, it is what it is in that regards, man. They are shitting about safety. They just don't want people to voice their opinions to a worldwide audience, protect the brand of the Royals, act like they're loved by everyone. Exactly. Crazy stuff, man. Probably happy to have a break with fixture congestion, but the way it works around will pay for it later. Working class being told to bow their heads. Amen, man. DG thoughts on Central C La Ligas. What? You're gonna have to update me. The Queen was one of the rich. She's one of the richest, and just keep getting the whole royal family. I find it, obviously, I don't like to see people losing their lives, but I find it to have broad. I just find. And it happened with Jimmy Savile as well. When people die, why we gotta lie? Like, you know, let's be real about the royal family. The colonial powers are there, you know, they're really there. And there's several things the Queen would do. Forget it, man. Just forget it, man. Let's just forget it, man. If you know, you know. Some parents not even using the child support to find their children. Again, it's great. The world's fucked, man. DG, who's your World Cup winners? Brazil, France, man, really. I love football and I wish it wasn't postponed for the sake of my team. It's probably a blessing in disguise. Hey, something like that, my guy. I'll be that Central C freestyle shit, man. Big up Central C, but it's meaty, man. It's meaty. I like his music, but it's meaty, bro. Like, it's proper tired. It's proper tired, man. I like the cut through with the local thugs and that. Charles, Andrew stressed. Andrew needs to get locked up as well. You will see people's true character on how they treat people who can't do anything for them. And I don't think that's necessarily for the rich. I think that's a lot of people in life, you know. Some of you probably treat your friends like shit. You know, that is very true. A lot of people, you know, one thing I learned in life very quickly, and I think it actually helped me to make contacts with, obviously, the content I do and things. A lot of people don't care about your stuff. They just want to talk about themselves. So I realized one day, and it was off the back of reading a self-help book, many people just want an excuse to talk about themselves. If you let people, especially if you're trying to network, you just let people talk about themselves, they'll see that you care. And then you find out I don't want to make it big, but there's a certain person that works in football. Now, this person is used to everybody, and we're actually decent friends. Well, I can ask him for advice. A lot of people just ask this guy for something. So I spent an hour just researching things about him. And I found an interest that he liked. Just randomly asked him about it. Then on his birthday, happy birthday. How many people are going to say that? Many people just want something for you. How many people, whether I care about your birthday or not, how many people are going to do that? And I can't lie, that's the Arsene Wenger thing I learned as well. Wenger's great at that sort of stuff, man. I feel you on that Central C one, but he knows what that's what I'm saying, bro. What he's doing is lit. I just think that freestyle was shit. The pandemic was an eye-opener on how these folks see people. But many people don't want to open their eyes, you know. Look at Brexit, bro. Brexit, there's legit reasons to leave the EU or stay in it. But what was it funded by? You know, in the government have not historically been funding, you know, again, my geography is poor, but all them towns that historically mining towns. And what did they say? Oh, They're the ones not investing. They're the ones not giving companies grants or incentives to set up, shop and companies there to provide e-commerce and business and ultimately jobs and things. So obviously people that live around these sides, they're going to be disillusioned. They're going to feel their prospects are done. Then what did they go and tell them? The very government is taking things for them. What did they go and tell them? It's the foreigners. It's this. It's that. Tutus now. You let all the foreign people go. Now you got no one to fucking, people are not even helping pick strawberries and other roles as well. This is why I lost faith in humanity, because many people don't want to look at things. A lot of people fall for propaganda, a lot of people don't get information from both sides and present your argument. My faith in humanity broadly is lost because we're sheep essentially, innit? And we all have to conform and whatnot as well. But bro, I've seen it, man. Too many with the rise of the far right as well. It's crazy, man. It's scary. It's very scary. The rich will get richer, the poor will get poorer. As you can see, wages are not rising, living costs are rising. That's the first alarm bell. People are not really spending because they're scared about where they're rightly so their next pound's coming from. It's peak. If people don't spend, the economy don't breathe. If you lot don't spend money on internet, you lot don't watch me on YouTube. You get it? If people are not going Oxford Circus and look, we got Christmas soon. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. As I say, football always mirrors society, and this is why, this is why you have to be very careful on how people speak, about footballers especially. Football mirrors society alike mirrors the same. It's quite sad, really, but what are you gonna do in this life, people, man? It's upsetting, man. It's true. I thought a good psychologist gave good advice, but a good psychologist listens. That's because people literally feel better just by talking about themselves. Right. DG, if you were offered to be King of England hypothetically, would you accept? I couldn't accept, man. Look what they did to my people, man. I couldn't. Well, I'd be lying if I just saying now. Like, I could do a couple things still with that. Like I could be living in a golden tower and that, but they'll dead me off, man. Car, it's gonna get too diversified in there, man. You're just gonna see random brownings walking around. It's gonna get long for me, man. It's gonna be too much. You mean you lot are not working here? You're actually part of the royal family. You lot are darker than Meghan. What's going on here? It will get long. It will get long, man. It will get long, man. I used to dream about living in England. Now all I think about is the day someone will hear my accent and tell me to go home. Them lot of pussy holes, man. I've been told to go back to my country. I'm like, well, got a British passport, lad. What's going on there? I was born here, It's not my fault. You lot sent and called my West Indian people there to come and work on the TFLs and the NHS and things. It's not my fault. I literally did not ask to be born in North Middlesex Hospital. Frame rate. I'll host the maddest of soccer events and it will all be courtesy of the taxpayer. I'll get rubbed out still. Can't lie. UK hella backwards, so many job vacancies, but the barrier entries are too high. Only a minority get access, then they'll complain about the lack of workers. Exactly. It's absolutely shameful, man. If you don't laugh, you're gonna cry, man. It's peak out here, man. There's not a single reason to smile, really, but if we don't smile, we're gonna cry at people, man. Shout out the Kenyans. In my honest opinion, we really suffered in Kenya during her reign, and trauma has been passed to us. So excuse us for feeling the way we feel about it. I can't blame the Irish. I can't blame anyone from Commonwealth for, I can't really blame them for all the crying and stuff because they've got us in a vice lock. But I can't blame any people for lacking empathy. Maybe not necessarily the Queen, but broadly what it stands on. Are they going to give back all them jewels that are on their head? Are they going to give back to where they came from? It's pretty barbaric when you sit here and deep it, man. I was trying to watch other leagues over the weekend, but it just wasn't the same. Nothing like the Prem. Different levels out here. That shout out Clement in the cut. So yeah, man. Communism has killed 10 times more people than fascism. I don't know about that, my guy. I don't know about that. I'm talking a lot of sense, my guy, especially for you, G, brother. What do you mean, man? Always talk sense. Don't let the name gash you, man. Far right made me lose my faith in humanity for real. All I try and do in my life is just be the example. What I realize, you can't change anything, you can change yourself. I just try to be a good example to myself. I've always said that I really hate the fact that people discriminate against people because of their race, religion, sex, sexual orientation, whatever. If you're going to discriminate against someone, let it be because they're a fucking prick or they're not a nice person, not because of things they can't choose to be born in. DJ, have you watched The Wire? Yes. 100%. Still curious to see what ideas the king is going to imply. Different-ish same toilet, man. Really, really and truly. It's just going to be a different-ish same toilet, my guy. I can't lie to you. It is a bit weird though, I mean, and even people way older than me, they've grown up with the Queen at the helm, sort of thing. It's gonna be a bit weird seeing what it's all like and that. But yeah, keen to see what happens to the banknotes. But for me, the world keeps spinning, man. You know, it is obviously away from someone dying. It is what it is, man. You don't learn history, you're damned to repeat it. DG, well, go for the horse in your story. You're gonna turn jockey. Aye, you must follow me on Snap. Now, man, I was doing up country life, and obviously, I was chilling, minding my own business without talking too tough. I was enjoying myself. If you know, with a bit of Cali, just standing there, and a horse comes. The horse, I had to keep it moving still. And that's why you need to be a thinker, innit? Everything. We live in a day and age where there's so much information, you can't verify what's cap and what's not. So you can only, well, for me anyways, information presented in front of me, I try and draw a conclusion. If someone presents me with a next bit of information, I change my opinion in it. But I've got no faith in humanity, man. The larger scale of it, man. Banknotes, coin stamps, and national anthem all changing. I don't sing the national anthem, so it's minor to me. Should we see what's going on where Arsenal are concerned, folks? Let's change that to 32, man. Just change that to 32. We got a little timestamp. Ironically, I don't even know what we have here. Close that one. Sky Sports is tired. Let's start from back to front, because we never do it like that. This has nothing to do with Arsenal, but I just felt this was kind of mad. Still, Rayo Vallecano president Raul Martin Perez has claimed he was headbutted by Raul de Thomas agent during recent transfer negotiations. What did he do to make them that mad? What did you do? You must have done something for him to headbutt you. You violated them. Crazy. Apparently, Fabrizio Romano on Arsenal's response to Leno criticism. What has he said here, people? He told Blind. When I realized that this was Leno's, but if you haven't heard Leno's previous comments, he seems a bit salty about leaving Arsenal. And I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I just want to know, Arsenal, what are we doing to these goalkeepers, man? Because I don't know what's going on in the change rooms, because there's some crazy attachment issues. Leaving and joining new football clubs is part and parcel of the business. Do I think Leno was done dirty when he was dropped? Potentially. You know, am I happy with Ramsdale? Cool. Would I have liked Leno to stay as a backup? Yeah, but he wanted to try playing the World Cup, so he picked the most rubbiest team so he can stand out. Do your thing. When I realized that it wasn't about performance or quality, I knew I had to go. In preparation, I saw that it's not about performance, but only politics. It was clear to me I had to get out of there. Unfortunately, you're not wrong, but football is part of politics. Certain players that have or haven't played at this football club, Guendouzi, Aubameyang, has been because of politics. Certain players that are probably playing because of politics. You know, Man United, Cristiano Ronaldo, he's not playing, maybe because he doesn't fit the system and the pressing, but a large part of that is because he wants to leave. Politics. There was also politics with Lukaku. There's politics in every walk of life, rightly or wrongly, really and truly. So, Leno, pattern up, man. But anyways, I don't think he's wrong. And then Romano said, I'm told that Arsenal can't understand the meaning behind Leno's words, as they simply wanted and signed Ramsdale as a goalkeeper for the present and the future. I think Leno is a very good goalkeeper and can be a good signing for Fulham, but Arsenal had a different strategy and it has to be respected. And to be fair with you, you did have opportunities. You know, Arsenal don't owe you nothing. I remember when Leno always used to say, oh, yeah, I want to try another league one day and all of these things. So credit for your service, but pattern up, man. Oh, what's the snap? D-Guna04. Like, literally, I've just typed it here. Did you read about Martial's interview? I heard about it, how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's playing him through injury. This is why, of all football fans, when they say players don't care, they do. Do you know how many players are playing with injuries and things like that? And then it's a double-edged sword, because they might, like, Martial said he's suffering with acceleration. Obviously, fans are not told that. So when you see him not running, putting himself around, you're going to say he's moving mad. So it's a double-edged sword. And then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's not going to come out and say, oh, I'm playing him with an injury, because rightly so, it makes you look incompetent as a gaffer. This is why I always say sometimes we need to allow footballers a little bit. Obviously, this is the industry. At fans, it's not our job to know about that. We can only deal with the information that's presented with us. You know, if we were seeing the behind the scenes and the little things and the little knocks, maybe we'd cut a lot of players a lot more slack, but it is what it is. Brighton respond to Arsenal, United, Liverpool and Chelsea's interest in Moses Caicedo. Now, with Kante looking to move on, I do think that, oh yeah, that's the team that played Juventus. Yeah, that is them. you'd imagine he's going to get aggressively linked with Chelsea. I think Chelsea need him as well as a different sort of profile, more closer to the Kovacic stuff. Get the likes up, people were slacking, but he'd be lit. He was linked with United when Brighton bought him. I don't know why he picked Brighton over United. I don't know if United were more onto it. I'm sure Liverpool fans would take him. Arsenal, we could take it as well. And I don't know with Graham Potter and where Brighton are going, what's going to happen. But Brighton has showed that they will sell players to you, but you can't come on a joke thing, 60 million for Cucurella, 50 million for Ben White. Obviously, Basuma's contract was running out, but the P's was paid. It is what it is, people. Brighton have responded. Let's see. They're planning contract talks. As expected, he touched there last year. He's barely, as much as I like him, he's not really done much at that club before everyone's getting linked with him and things like that. He's doing his thing. He will get sold to the highest bidder. Simple as that. And Brighton probably got his replacement lined up as well. He'd be a great Kante replacement. That's why I said they probably need him and someone that can do what Kovacic needs as well. It's a bit ignorant. Really, Cesar. It's a bit ignorant. Come on now. So, yeah, he's attracted our interest from all of the top six. Arsenal looking into a new midfielder over the summer and saw multiple bids for Douglas Luiz rejected. We've got more chance of Douglas Luiz Telemans or maybe that Danilo brother, if I'm completely honest with you. Because, again, if he's going to sign a new contract, he's probably under contract for a decent amount of time. No one wants to really sell or buy in January, so you're going to have to pay on top of the Premier League premium tax. You're going to have to play a bit more, which I don't think Arsenal will do that. Other clubs, I don't know. What I do know is he'd be a lit signing still, but I think he's at the right place. You're playing. You've only been at Brighton 2 minutes. Like, as much as he looks decent, we don't know his strengths or weaknesses. You're better off getting some experience under your belt. And then, boy, if Champions League clubs come for you, if a team as prestigious as Arsenal, Man United come in for you, then this is the clubs man dreamed of playing for. Respectfully, Brighton, I don't think he dreamed of playing for you lot. Indeed, he's decent, but I don't rate too tough. I can't lie. I think you lot gas him a bit. So, yeah, man, big him up on getting the contract and things like that. So, yeah, man. I mean, Potter left, but he did say, in football, you never know, but we are calm and confident of keeping him. You probably get his boots for that from the chairman, maybe 100 million. They can try. It doesn't surprise me that people are looking at him because he is playing at a fantastic level. As soon as you do research on him, you realize he's a top kid, great person, young, playing in the Premier League, has all the attributes to play at the very, very highest level. So what does that tell you? He said he's happy at Brighton as well. This is the club where I am now, and I'll give everything for this club to keep doing well here. So it is what it is in that regard. Apparently, this Denmark star tells Arsenal he wants to sign just months after moving to a new club. I mean, are you good though? Like, if you're lit, then sign him in it. If you're not good, then leave that out, man. I can't verify. I hope you're lit. Don't seem like the lit players would be saying all of this all the time. But he said he wants to move. Jonas Wind has admitted that a move to the Premier League and Arsenal would be a dream transfer. He only joined Wolfsburg at the start of the year, people. Let's see what he's on. He said, there's nothing concrete that I had to deal with. I've only been here for a bit more than half a year. I've been happy with my time at the club so far, so I'm not thinking about a move away at all. But if we look into the future, Arsenal would be a dream destination for me, as it has always been one of my favorite clubs. In general, I think the Premier League is the best league in the world, and it would be exciting to play there. But as I said, that's not what I'm focusing on at the moment. I'm doing well here in Wolfsburg. It's just a good club for me, and the Bundesliga is a great league to play in. At the moment, I'm just focusing on my performances here, and we'll see if I'm good enough to take the next step sometime in the future. Yeah. You do your thing, and we'll spin the block if you're lit, man. But yeah, Omri's been praising Balogun. Light work, man. Halen Demons, man. We're not like them Cobham Utes. We really do this. As Hudson-Odoi scored or assisted at Leverkusen yet. The agenda's still live and kicking. I'm really happy for him because, in general, English players don't go abroad. I mean, in the last couple of years, Jadon Sancho, Balogun, and many others are kind of moving away from that. Normally, players are either loaned to another Premier League side or in the Championship. He's a very English-style player who likes to run down the channels, but he was missing something, which was his finishing. He's now starting to score goals regularly, and I'm very happy for that. Happy he's gone abroad. It's especially so considering he's a Londoner. In general, Londoners struggle to leave London. When I heard he was coming to France, it made me think he has a refreshing mindset. Here for that. He assisted, fair enough. The agenda can start. Man, I'm going Bundesliga. If he don't come back with Jadon Sancho stats on him, I was like, yeah. Arsenal set sights on Man City for Crystal Palace in good position to sign Chelsea star. Where is this? What has been said of Arsenal? Arsenal will look to explore the possibility of signing Barcelona forward Ferran Torres in January. We heard this already. It sounds like cap, man. It sounds like cap. Let me see what this actual article is saying. It sounds like cap. Google Translate, help me. English that, please. We've heard this before, and he said he basically just arrived over there, people. Yeah, apparently we bidded on deadline day. By all means, go back in for him in January. I don't know if Barcelona's financial, blueprint will look a lot better. I don't know if they'll be willing to sell. It is what it is. For what it's worth, you can play up front, can play on either wing, resale value, all that tosh. Been at City, I'm having Ferran Torres, but I can't see it happening. Apparently, they were more than happy to sell him to us. Xavi said no, so that tells me Xavi likes the guy. You look at Aubameyang, obviously it's a bit different, but pardon me, let him go, no problem. So, yeah, do your thing, but it's irrelevant. Until then, what's this being said? 30 million star will soon move amid Emirates interest. Who's this? Mudruk. And I mean, he's been saying everything, man. He put on a super show that's caught the attention of pretty much anyone that was watching it. There's no way I see that he won't move clubs in the next year. And obviously, previously, where is it? We see if that happens. But previously, he talked up Arsenal interest. Where is it, man? Where is it? Where is it? I don't even think I have it. There it is. He previously said, I can't say no to Arsenal. Obviously, he's going to say that. It's not just down to him. The clubs have to agree a fee. He's been so dead for Barca. To be fair, he scored a cracker off the bench where Dembele was showing out in the champs. He said, in the winter, we'll see. There's been a lot of discussions about a transfer and speculation about what clubs want me. I think every player dreams of the Premier League. It's hard to say, but Arsenal is a very good team, very good coach. I like the way they play. From my side, I can't say no, but a transfer is not just up to my decision, as you see there, people. So it's a bit irrelevant to a degree what he has to say if clubs can't agree bids and fees and the rest of it. Not where he should be. Arsenal told 22-year-old isn't developing. Is this about Lokonga? Oh, this is what Kevin Campbell has said. Well, I mean, he's 22. He's not really where he should be, but he needs to pattern. If he don't make significant progress, then he needs to hit the loan strip either in January if we bring in certain people or whatever. Arsenal may return for ex-transfer target after Real Madrid star left livid at treatment. I mean, is this about Asensio? Well, yeah, and his contract's running down. We're not going to stop being linked with him. Clearly, he wants the bag, really. And, I'll take Asensio if he can get over his injuries, but I don't know if that's really what we want to do. So I don't really buy that. I haven't got much time for this, people. Arsenal's clash with PSV in Europa League this week will go ahead despite Axe fears over policing for Queen's funeral. One article, the Athletic said it's likely to go ahead. This one has said it's likely to go ahead, so we should be playing in the Europa League. We'll be doing a watch-along for that. I think we kick off at 8, so I'll be live at 7 p.m. on Thursday as well. It's not out there yet, but in fact, Twitch gang, you can see it in your schedules, but YouTube, I haven't done the thumbnails and everything, so we hope we can play, is what it is. Obviously, Balogun, we've already read that. For less of that, we spoke about that. Rangers game has been moved over policing, and Arsenal match under discussions, people, so we're going to have to see. UEFA's announcement came as Arsenal awaited clarification to whether their Europa League home game to PSV on Thursday night can go ahead. There had been confidence last Friday that the match would be played, but after the Met Police indicated they would be comfortable with it, but on Sunday the matters was still being discussed by the club with the relevant authorities. So we'll have to see, man. One other European match is due to be played in London in midweek, with Chelsea scheduled to face Salzburg on Wednesday in Graham Potter's first game, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to have to see how that one develops, man. EFL looking like it's going to resume. What's going on with Gakpo? Has he joined Leeds yet? Seems to be like that's the most heavily anticipated one. Don't know quite what that is. Apparently, Arsenal transfer targets agent exploring many options, as you'd expect. Zaha's deal's running down. I'm sure moving to Arsenal, moving to anyone that's interested in the top 6 or in the Premier League, moving abroad, signing a new deal obviously at Crystal Palace. That's what your agent's supposed to be doing. Trevor Sinclair got pressured. You did not read the room. I don't think you're necessarily wrong with what you said, but you need to really review the demographic of the platform you're talking on. You got pressured. Now you're lacking stuff, man. Xavi Simons looks lit. Hopefully not too lit. Yeah, man, I see Lacazette lost his voice mid-interview. Man, still on the helium. And 85 likes. Can we get to 100 people? Thank you in advance. What has been said with Zaha? His agent has explored many options, but so far it's a quiet situation. Surprises are not ruled out, but Vieira is happy with Zaha. The club closest to signing him was Roma before completing the Dybala deal, which Jose wanted as a priority. So we'll have to see how Zaha develops as well. Douglas Luiz tells friends he wants to join Arsenal as new talks have been held. As you know, 3 bids, the latest being worth up to 25 million on deadline day, did not bang. You know, they faced the prospect of losing him either for free or selling him abroad for a reduced rate in January, which they might want to do. Apparently Arsenal are maintaining dialogue with Luiz's camp, and talks have been held since the window shut. Luiz has told friends he's keen to join the London Giants and would like the deal to happen. Villa have held talks with him over a new deal but have yet to secure an agreement. As you know, his deal, like Telemans, is going to expire at the end of the season. He started just twice in the Premier League, obviously owing to what's been going on with his contract, people. Arsenal may benefit from Premier League delay with new big things set for introduction. What's this? Arsenal may be able to reap the benefit. Oh, well, we know players might return fit by the time we play. I mean, the headline done me in there a bit. We'll have to see how that one develops. Again, I don't know if you can trust Sports Blind or Fabrizio Romano in this, but on Sane, he said, I'm not sure it could be true because this summer they had the possibility to try, but they were not 100% convinced. It's about age, it's about healing, about a lot of things. He then went on to say, and you know, you lot can pre it there. Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal only sign players you are 100% convinced of the overall package. Sane could be an option, but I don't think he'll be a priority. Arsenal want a younger player, says such there, people. So, yeah, we'll have to see how that one day develops, people, in that regard. Hey, go back for me, please. Let's see what the popular Twitter dons are saying. Odegaard's one possession, the most in the final third out of all the top 5 leagues, and they say he lacks work rate. Hear that? 2 hours ago, Charles Watts said talks ongoing today about Thursday night's match. Police yet to make a final decision. Further discussions with UEFA in the next few hours. Arsenal and UEFA and PSV were confident before the weekend it would go ahead. Bit less so now. Arsenal hope to be able to confirm either way today. And spare a thought for the travelling fans from Holland, but also, you know, Arsenal, we're a global footballing brand. You know, obviously it's not just people rocking up from North London, it's anywhere in England and maybe abroad. Spare a thought for them. Health is priority, but it is what it is in that regard, people. So it is what it is. I don't think there's anything. Hey, we don't need any of that. Apparently, you know, Wolves wanted Marquinhos too, but Arsenal had been faster thanks to Eddie's relationship. There's actually rumours he could be going out on loan as well, people. Where is that Marquinhos loan? I'm sure I had an article about that. You don't know. Here it is. Slap that there. All right, good to go. Oh, I've lost you. Look, can you hear me? Yeah, you can. First thing, Mikel Arteta to allow Marquinhos to leave on loan in January if the club are able to sign another winger, which you hope so. And I mean, if things were different, whether that's Zaha, Pedro Neto, Cody Gakpo, Noah Lang, Yeremy Pino, Rafinha, it was a long summer, innit, people? You know, it was a long summer. Whether we got one of them, it might have been something for Marquinhos. Clearly, he's shown something in pre-season to not go out on loan, and he's got from now till January to convince. I do think Arsenal fans are gassing up the Zurich game a bit. He scored and assisted, and it was lovely, but it weren't that anyone was bad and whatnot. We weren't amazing. We just done the job. Keep taking your chances, man. I think he looks physically built for the Prem. I think the major thing is, I wouldn't say confidence. I just think there's a lot more personality. I think he's still wowed by the fact of, I've just moved from Brazil. I'm playing in the Premier League. I probably played with these guys in FIFA. I think when he realizes I'm here for a reason, whether true or not, I'm just as good as these lot because I'm employed by Arsenal. I'm not saying he's going to be a world beater, but I think you'll see a lot more with that. But I expect a young 19-year-old to have that. And to be fair, at least with this adaptation period, you know, he couldn't have picked a better time to join Arsenal and stay at Arsenal. You got enough Brazilian and Portuguese speakers on the field, off the field. Obviously, you got Edu you could chat to. It is what it is. But Arsenal are considering allowing Summer signing Marquinhos to leave on loan in Jan. Obviously, he's only got one start, has been on the bench a few times in the Premier League. He's played one game, bro. Give a man a chance. Where have I said I'm not giving him a chance? Are you listening or are you talking? Thank you. Anyways, according to a report from The Sun, the initial plan, and I've been watching him under 21s level, by the way. But anyways, the initial plan had been immediately loan out the prodigy after his 3 million move from Sao Paulo. But the Arsenal boss instead elected to keep Marquinhos with the squad after he impressed in pre-season. What did I just say? Anywho, Marquinhos had been slated to join Wolves before signing for Arsenal this summer, and even signed pre-contract terms for a move to Molineux before Arteta swooped in. After convincing the club's brass that he has the potential to make an instant impact at the club, gassing it a bit, the Brazil youth international was initially placed in the academy squad, and he's obviously done his stuff. In his first appearance for the Highland side, the Brazilian immediately demonstrated the talents and had made him so coveted by Arsenal's recruitment staff. Tore up United, scored against West Ham as well, people. So yeah, Rich United got a brace against the Hammers. Keep doing your thing, but minutes are currency, and it's not really fair, really to be relying on dons like this. And I think Fabrizio Romano has been speaking about him as well. He said, in my view, this could end up being a smart bit of business and a real bargain. I hope so. At 3 million, he either becomes a real Arsenal first team player or he gets sold for triple the price, and we keep it moving. Wolves wanted Marquinhos too, but Arsenal had been faster thanks to Eddie's relationship with Sao Paulo. Arsenal are convinced he's a top talent for the present and the future. For sure, the club will keep following the Brazilian market as Eddie has great relations there. So I hope so. What about a midfielder? I don't know. When Arsenal sacked me, it was brutal. I left with tears in my eye. David Dein, sorry. I might have said Ornstein. Definitely not. Bring him back, man. I just want to hear specifically what he said. I'm a glass half full person. I want to be positive. I want to be the guy who puts a brick in the wall, who builds something. That was the worst feeling I felt, apart from when my mother and brother Arnold died. I left with tears in my eyes. It's crazy. He then opened up on Arsenal and how they dealt with Arsene Wenger. Brutal, yes, that's how I describe it. It was a combination of fear and jealousy. I was fairly high profile. I think the rest of the board were upset that I was trying to source outside investment, talking to Stan Kroenke about my shares. They wanted to keep it a closed shop. I could see where the game was going. You look at football now, Chelsea, City, even Newcastle, we didn't have the same muscle. We had wealthy people, but not billionaires. We didn't have enough money to finance the new stadium and finance the team we were trying to dance at 2 weddings. What an example. Arsene and I would come out of board meetings feeling we'd been knocking our heads against a brick wall. We lost Ashley Cole over $5,000 a week, one of my favorite ever players who played for this flipping football club. It was a very difficult time. There was a lot of friction because the cost of the stadium, and we had to ration the salaries. Arsene used every bit of skill in his body to find cheap players. A lot of managers wouldn't have taken that. Big up Father Wenger. He did it without any qualms. He just got on with it. But the last year or so was uncomfortable for me. We had a harmonious group, and now there were fractures. So yes, I stuck my neck out. You didn't get anything unless you stick your neck out. I was in commodities. You go long or you go short. You have to take a position, which is true. And I mean, David Dein cared about his pockets more than cared about his pockets as much as the club, which was great. Obviously, I think you were the guy to pull Arsene Wenger in when he was getting a bit too mad with certain things. You'd help him find balance, and I think that ultimately led to his demise as well. People, he said the number I'd had since I was in business was petty. It was spiteful. To this day, no one has ever properly explained why it had to end this way. It took some doing for me to retell it, really, because it was so painful. It was such a traumatic moment. I was in shock. It wasn't so long before that we'd been invincible. We just moved into our new stadium. We had so much going for us. It took a lot to get over. It did feel like a death in the family. Arsenal was a part of my life since the age of 10. I helped deliver 18 trophies for them. Arsene and I had a wonderful relationship. It was Lennon and McCarthy, according to some. He bled for me, I bled for him. He's still my close friend. Seeing that taken away was such a shame. It wasn't in the best interest of the club. We spoke in that night. He didn't think he could stay. I persuaded him to stay. Come on. And then you told me, I love a Wenger propaganda. He was a miracle worker and they let him go. He left in a familiar way to me. I thought the club owed Arsene a duty of care. That's why I disagree. The club that owe you, no one told Wenger to stay. As much as Wenger's my guy, you always want to tell us how Madrid, all of these clubs were onto you. You didn't go, whether you love Arsenal or not, whether, you would be judged harsher or there. No, I'm not discrediting anything Wenger did, but, or didn't do. But, the club don't owe you nothing, really. In the same way, you don't owe players nothing. Think about how many players were doing well, and then you knew when to kind of move them on. It's football. It's a results-driven business. We needed a change, but how do you want this to be done? Do you want to be involved? What can we do? And I did think I would like Arsene to be involved at Arsenal, but we needed to move away. In the last few years, I don't think Wenger could separate Arsenal from himself, and that ultimately led to his demise. Do you want to be involved? What do you want to do? Would you like a different role? Would you prefer to exit elegantly? You must have dialogue. It didn't happen in my case, didn't happen in his, and that must really hurt him. I would have done it differently. Look, you don't find a brain like his every day of the week. He's an Arsenal man. 22 years at a club wasn't his knowledge worth cultivating. Look at where he is now. So he's not good enough for Arsenal, but he's good enough to be head of global development for FIFA in charge of 211 countries. Amen. It should have been used by us. Surely his knowledge, his skill, his awareness of players, he's got to be used. He's a madness. So yeah, Wenger still hasn't been there, and it's still, this wounds are still there. The longer I stayed away, the harder it would have been to come back. So sooner rather than later was better. Maybe if I hadn't gone, I wouldn't have gone. Like Arsene, he's hurt. He's still bruised. The day I returned, I saw Robin van Persie. Mr. Dean, what happened to you? I signed him. He was one of my sons. But then I just vanished. I told him it was a long story. I lost a lot outside Arsenal. Prestigious roles that I enjoyed, seeing where the game was going, having a seat at the top table. It all went away at the same time. I got punished more than once. And for what? Trying to drive the club forward. I was a majority shareholder at this time. So what was my interest? Making Arsenal successful. We came out in the black on transfers plus 18 trophies. Where is the logic? Crazy. And he could have snaked it and went to Liverpool. He said, Tom Werner offered me that role. They're just taken over and we're looking for stability. Someone who knew English football. It didn't go far. I was very flattered, but I wouldn't work in opposition to Arsenal. I wouldn't have been happy. I couldn't give Liverpool my love, care and attention while thinking I was being disloyal, unfaithful to Arsenal. It's the club I really love. Whatever happened to me, Arsenal didn't push me out. The people there did. Mike Ashley was my neighbour in Totteridge and he wanted me to work at Newcastle. But again, I couldn't do it. It was all tempting, but no. AC Milan, Barca called, but I couldn't leave London. I love the theatre. This is my home. I'm an Arsenal man. When I left, they offered me 250k to keep my council. I told them I didn't want it because the club needed it better man than me. I'm going to need that. I'm going to need that. So yeah, he's gone on to kind of echo the same sentiment as well. People spoke about the Super League, etc., man. So yeah, man, that's David D. I'm gonna miss you, fella. Well, I do miss you. Once again, we've allowed Marquinhos to depart. Premier League football returns, faces problem with lack of TV trucks, with Sky News needs for covering the death of the Queen, putting a strain on Sky Sports resources. So yeah, the return of Premier League football could be jeopardized by a shortage of TV trucks. There's no way they have the best of both worlds. Rupert Murdoch and them and they are not going to give up all their P's in it. So they're going to find some resolution over this, people. All these man do is see zeros. Once again, depends where you read. Arsenal's Europa League match against PSV in doubt over concerns with police resources. So make of that what you will. Obviously, Fabio Vieira, he's been labelled a secret weapon. I mean, us content creators are bleeding. I mean, it's nice to see him fit. Let's give him a chance and see what he could do, man. What has been said here? We want players that make each other better. In order to do that, there has to be chemistry between those players and understanding of different qualities they need in order to get what we want done. Fabio needs to develop that and see where he clicks and where he can make a big impact. Big him up. And now that his career can start, he's basically starting his preseason because he's played no real minutes really, apart from for our under-21s. And obviously he got his first start away in the Europa League. We look for players that could, we were looking for players that could play in 3 different positions in the front line and in attacking midfield positions. When I saw Fabio, I really liked what I saw. Straight away, I was convinced that he was the player who could help us to go to the next level, and he had the right character and personality to play for our club. So we hope that is the case. What's this? I don't care about Darwin Núñez. So yeah, that seems to be that. What's the transfer news here saying? This guy's going to be lit. Endrick, apparently Real Madrid are not ready to sign him. He's 16. Let him develop. I think he's the truth. Costa signed for Wolves. Gavi set to sign an extension with Barca. Luis Diaz chose Liverpool over Spurs. Well in. Ronaldo signing not a priority for Chelsea anymore. We just spoke about Marquinhos potentially leaving. Apparently Liverpool swap deal for Douglas Luiz. They're prepared to offer Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, whose deal is also running out. Andy Carroll is set to return to Reading after missing out on a move to Wolves. Noah Lang could be joining Milan. So yeah, man, it is what it is where that's concerned. But yeah, man, 98 likes, people. We're doing well, but we could be doing much better, couldn't we? Appreciative to you lot tuned in on this Monday morning, folks. So yeah, it is what it is in that regards, folks. Moving away from Jack. Hendrick come to the bridge. Just tuned in. How can Marquinhos leave with no replacement? Kind of just answered that. If Enrique be available after the World Cup, do you think we would let Arteta go? No. Pardon me. Sky Sports do not give these men hundreds of millions to tell them we can't broadcast. That's like saying have some free money. We ain't hit 100 likes, pattern up. Any news on where Tuchel might be going next? Not that I can see. I would keep playing Marquinhos in the Europa, give Saka a rest. I mean, in an ideal world, we sign a winger. If we don't sign a winger, then you have to stay. But in an ideal world, in January, we sign a winger. because it could be worth it. How many Europa League games are you going to play? You got the group stage, assuming you stay fit. Once it gets to the latter stages, it's the strongest team. I would, I could see maybe logic in him just staying here. He might not necessarily get minutes, but staying, acclimatizing to European football and going out on loan at 20 next year. But I could understand if he stays. I could understand if he goes. All that matters is that we make him worth double, whether he's going to have a future here. Big up DG, more grease to your elbows. Would you have taken Diego Costa on a free as a second choice option? Nah. He could do a lot worse, but he's not what he used to be. And obviously, if he goes and bads up the Prem, then it is what it is. Personally, I think you and Spurs have the worst goalkeeper in the top 6. That's great, man. We just have to keep it moving. Bit harsh, really. Current De Gea, arguably, is in the same bracket with Lloris and Ramsdale. But yeah, man, as long as Ramsdale does his thing, and I'm sure not that I care for Spurs, but Lloris keeps doing his thing, who cares? I want Moyes and Romeo Lavia, so do I, but the hustle is so separate from the dream, man. Football has evolved. Leno wasn't good with his feet, but too good to be number 2, and the club didn't stand in his way when he wanted to leave. Don't know why homie be salty. I don't even think it's salty, to be fair. You're entitled to say what you need to say, innit? DG, do you think the timing is good or bad for the changes in Parliament and royalty pretty much coming within the same week? I mean, timing's never ideal, really, but this country's gone down the shitter, really. When last did we elect a prime minister? Boris, Theresa, my lady. Now, none of you were elected. Democracy's an illusion, essentially. Too kind, my guy, too kind. So, yeah, man. It is what it is in that regards. What else are we seeing? Try and make sure I don't miss anything. Back on the hustle, as you know, man. DG, what's Real Madrid versus Mallorca? Valverde is an explosive player, scoring a goal, almost running the full length of the pitch. He's got an engine, technical ability, and the rest of it. So he can be as good as he wants, man. And yeah, man, he's going to be a golden boy. I mean, having the Prem don't mean we can't judge your play. You judge your playing skills. Werner's won a Champions League. R9 hasn't. So if we're going to start being stupid, had my doubts over Ramsdale, but now I think he's cool. I still have my doubts over Ramsdale in a nice way, I mean, you can check my videos. When he was in good form and we was winning games, like around the time we made the Leicester thing, I was like, he's still doing dumb-ish, and I expect it. I don't think he's amazing. I like him. I like his personality. I just think he's got to improve his positioning, especially the near post and things like that. He plays like a 24-year-old keeper. We should, man, but we don't, unfortunately. Check the schedule to know when DG will next be live. Amen, Nightbot. Amen, amen, my brother. Keep that up, man. Don't feel any sort of way, man. You can have a title. It doesn't mean that if you want a title in like 2016, it doesn't matter in 2022 whether we could draw you out. Kasper Schmeichel's won a Premier League. Are we going to say he's better than numerous keepers right now in the Prem? Are we going to be stupid? I hear the agenda, but it's not making sense, man. De Gea is not the De Gea he used to be. De Gea in his prime, the man can't talk to him, but he's not that. Please look out. I don't know about all of that, man. Allow me with the history lesson, man. Sane and which Louise is this? The Villa lad, Douglas Louise. What other headlines have we got? What other websites are there, people, man? Goal.com's tired. Athletic is tired. Sky Sports is tired. What other footy websites are there? Don't be silly as well. Most exciting news is whether this PSV thing is happening, which we don't know. Apparently, Tavares is getting high praise from the Marseille gaffer. Marseille coach Tudor claims Arsenal loanee Tavares doesn't realise his qualities. Please pause that. We don't need that. Apparently, he said he sometimes doesn't even realise his qualities. It's so hard to follow him when he accelerates. He continues at this pace. He risks tormenting more than one Liga defence. Nothing about defending. For Nuno's development, Arteta said, for Nuno's development, I think it's going to be really important playing regularly. Obviously, we have recruited Zinchenko in that position. We have Tini as well, which are two really good players in that position. We believe that Nuno's best solution was to do that. I mean, go and play. It's somewhere. If you could turn yourself into a decent player for Arsenal, why not? Or we could turn that 8 million into 16 plus in it. So it is what it is. What else is going on here? Vieira looks exciting. Cody Gap, Paul Smith Rowe hands Arsenal injury boost. He's reported back in training. Hopefully, he could stay fit. Xhaka tells teammates it's time to win Europa League. Less chat-ins, please. Very disappointed, first of all, because when you go to we don't need copyright issues. Sorry, people. Very disappointed, first of all, because when you get to the final, you want to win it, but you can only learn about this 3 years later. We're still here in the Europa League. It's time to win. Let the football do the talking, man. Let the football do the talking. What's Tite said about this? Gabriel, this specifically is having a great time and in contention. Absolutely. Yeah, aye, man, because it's not like Twitch. So, yeah, these all look equally as tired people, man. It's just looking like a tired news day, really. We're in the trenches. We're bleeding. Shout out to you lot regardless, but we're bleeding, man. We're bleeding. It don't seem like there's anything close to excitement, man, within the world of football. Obviously, with what's going on globally. Feels almost like it's COVID again, man. He doesn't realize his deficiencies. Who? Anyone that doesn't realize their deficiencies is in problems. And I mean, when you listen to Ramsdale or just any footballer, everybody's trying to improve. There's not a single player I don't think wants to improve, but old habits die hard. If you're talking about Tavares, he definitely doesn't. You know, again, if you talk to me about Tavares, there's no point telling me he's good going forward in a nice way. That's your strengths. If I'm good at something, why keep telling me about it? What's your weaknesses? We all know Tavares is going to live or die by how good he improves defensively. Doesn't matter if it's at Marseille, next club, or at Arsenal. He needs to learn to think. He needs to improve his positioning. I'd expect you to thrive if you're playing in a back three or you're playing as a wing back. Your strengths are going forward. He spoke on Arsenal.com about shooting with his right foot. Am I shocked you've scored with your right foot? Someone needs to rise up when he's you know, pocketed a top class winger or stopped a cross or showed a good bit of defending. Because if you can marry the weaknesses or the deficiencies with what you're good at, then naturally you're going to be a better player. Athletic is good because it's reliable, but yeah, they don't really pick up rumours straight away. Football.London, let's go over there then. But they love a hype job as well, slyly, very slyly. I'm a bit disappointed in the world of football, really. There's not much going on at all. What's your opinion on Fabio in the last game? Hard to have an opinion because I don't think anyone was amazing. I don't think anybody was terrible. I think it was just standard. But, you know, as I said, I think there's still personality to come out in the lad. But, you know, lovely goal, lovely take of the chance. Got a great assist, you know, took his chance, really. Decent dribbler. Not really much to say. What I'd expect from a young Brazilian youth. Still bad defending 1v1. So, yeah, until Tavares can pattern that, bro. Yeah, exactly. You know. You can excel like Trent. With Trent's problem, I've always said it, and people used to get on to me. It's like I'm just watching football, you know. It's a thing where there's no point talking about Trent's passes. Historically, that Liverpool's creativity has been from their fullbacks, and he's had Fabinho looking after him as well. Typically, Liverpool have been on the front foot. There's not always going to be a time for, you know, Klopp could leave tomorrow, and the new manager says, you know what, Trent, I want you to do that, but you still have to defend. Trent doesn't. I do think he's a better defender than people give him credit for, but he doesn't have a defensive bone in his body. And I know there's agendas, and with social media, you can cut up clips and rub people out, but he doesn't smell danger. No matter how much the modern day develops, you need to smell danger. He's caught flat-footed. He's too easy 1v1. You know, he's a bit passive. He hasn't got a defensive bone in his body, and that's going to stop him from going to the next level, really and truly, if I'm honest. And this is why I don't buy this Trent can play in midfield bullshit. Pardon my French. Clearly, I think Trent can play in midfield. You know, he's got the ball ability and things like that to play in the middle of the park. But if you're playing fullback and you've got no awareness off the ball, how are you going to play in midfield? It's only going to be, you know, intensified. It don't make sense, really. Who was better, Van Persie or Aubameyang? Van Persie by quite a bit, bro. Do you know much about the PSV team we're playing this week? Couple of players, but not too much. You know, I'm not watching them all the time, but we're going to find out. Trent isn't good at defending. I don't know why Liverpool fans that can't admit it. He's better than people give him credit for, but he goes sleep, man. You know, sleepy time. This is why I don't buy all this better than Cafu, better than Alves, all this BS, man. It's just spam crosses. The Liverpool team historically demands that. I'm not even trying to criticize Trent. I'm just calling it as I see it. Still think he's a good player. Would love for him to sign for Arsenal, but he ain't got a defensive bone in his body. Just because you can cross the ball and you wear the low socks and shin pads doesn't mean you're mess. I mean, Xavi Simons of PSV looks like he's doing a mad thing. Wing backs / side backs, I don't know about that, are becoming the new 10s. I mean, you're seeing it with Zinchenko a bit. Man are just flying into midfield, really, and that's where the game's developing. But no matter how much the game develops, you need to be able to defend. You need to be able to defend. No matter how much the game develops of goalies and that, and you can, be a great passer, you need to be able to play. You need to be able to make saves and everything there. You can't make saves, you're in problems. Like, strikers can be this false nine BS as much as they want. If you're not scoring goals, you're only going to be so good. There's a lot of things, man. No matter how much the game develops, man, it's got to be done. And the thing is, I think Trent can get more of a tune out of it, but yeah, man, span crosses aren't going to do a lot. So it is what it is. Apparently, going back over this Asensio thing, not that there's much with Asensio. Asensio was furious today as he wasn't playing against Mallorca. Asensio's anger for not playing, I agree with him, so I'll keep it in mind. His contract's expiring. They probably bit the bullet, Real Madrid, so they're saying, you know what, you want to keep it moving. We're probably going to lose you for free. It is what it is. Anything can happen, but you just never know. Nah, man, Trent's decent still, bro. It's just, you can't defend. Criticizing is fine because he has areas to improve, but fans just get so territorial. I mean, they do. And to be fair, no fans are different. But Liverpool fans told me these players are better than the Invincibles, better than everyone that was in the Jose team, better than many of the United teams. So you can't gas them up and not have that, really, Went from being Invincibles last year to Invisibles. Big up Liverpool. But yeah, big up Bazza, man. Hope you're there, man. Essential would be a strange transfer for us. I don't buy it. It's not that it'd be strange, but I feel you with it. Contract running down, inconsistency with injuries. He's probably going to want to be near the higher bracket of earners. I do think he could start for Arsenal, but is it necessarily evident he's going to be there? Yes, he can play out wide. Is it us taking advantage of a situation rather than actually wanting them? To be fair, Odegaard, Jesus, these guys weren't exactly getting love at their teams. It's worked for us. Maybe the Essential one could help. Marquinhos, allegedly, he might go on loan in January. It's gas, man. It's gas. And his contract's winding down. I do think there's a level of admiration from Arsenal for Asensio. And we have worked with Real Madrid for a couple of players. Obviously, Odegaard consistently, got him on a 2-year loan. Obviously, Ceballos, we obviously got Odegaard. So there are relations there, but I don't really buy it. No, I can't remember the last draw Arsenal had off the top of my head, bro. When was it, if you know? From even Southgate can see you don't offer much other than crossing. Psychologically, I'd say it's with Trent. Trent, you've just got to smell danger. And do you really? Liverpool have been on 9 times out of 10. They're on the front foot. You've got Fabinho there. The games are wrapped up. It looks like a genuine culture shock when he's like, me, I have to defend. He doesn't smell blood. And he was a mid-centre midfielder before he was obviously converted into right back to go and progress into Liverpool's first team. One has to wonder what was going on there. I'm appreciative to all of you lot tuned in, people. YouTube told me it's my channel's birthday today. So yeah, big up you lot. When did I actually start this? I think 2016. Does it tell you when it was actually created? Pardon me, September the 12th, 2016. Well, it's about 6 years. Time's flying, isn't it? Fuck, Time is flying, people. Crazy, bloody hell. Bloody hell, how many vids? Probably thousands and that. But yeah, bloody hell. Time flies. Let's spin the block on Arsenal again, man. Why did you start the channel, DG? Gary Vaynerchuk, really? I just thought, let me just do it. I watched the video about how everyone should have an online presence. How the fuck am I going to do? I'm not doing much. Gnabry and Wilshere left in one transfer window. Here we are today, innit? Really? Good decision, really. Well, I feel. Well, time will tell. Don't know. Still winging it, but yeah, man. Don't look like there's anything online with Arsenal people. We're bleeding still. Hi, Daryl. Appreciate you and everyone else, mate. Many more. Can't lie. I know we haven't got 50,000 yet, but am I wrong for already thinking about 100? Like, am I being too ambitious? Maybe, man. Apparently, Reid van Nistelrooy has now said that he is not sure if the game versus Arsenal will go ahead. Said the plan might change and that his team got no time to wait. So I don't know what that means. I guess we'll have to, we're just gonna have to await dialogue from Arsenal and from PSV or from the, people that are in the thing, man. Let me see if there's anything else. No, you ain't got nothing. 250, we're watching Hayland, people. That 2 episodes of that Hayland doc. What's this saying? We just need a mad news headline now, man, where Arsenal's concerned. Or anyone in football, man. Rodgers, you might as well leave, man. Give us something to talk about. Nothing there. Appreciate you lot. Whether there's something to talk about or not, you lot are lit still. Trevor Sinclair pussying out of his initial comments. Crazy. Shoot for it, G. Never too ambitious. Appreciate that. Never wrong to think about 100 come sooner than you expect. Couldn't come quick enough, man. Check out the Twitch schedule to know when we'll go live. We're live at 2:50 and 4:30, people. 122 likes. Big up yourselves, people. Large up yourselves. Let me see. I didn't miss anything out. Someone mentioned Fabio Vieira. I'm not really a fan of the right wing thing. Unless it's a game where the team's not going forward, I'm more like my wingers to be inside forwards. People who are more don't have to take them on consistently, but more likely to take them on. Fabio Vieira, he's like Smith Rowe, Odegaard, and Zinchenko. Their game's more about connections and 1-2s and fancy passes versus just getting past someone all the time, if that makes sense. Not that they can't do it, but they're not on that consistently. And then unless you got a fullback flying forward or a team sitting back, that could be a gap in the market for an opposition to exploit, if I'm completely honest with you. Nah, for real, there's nothing going on in the world of football. Bit upset Arteta didn't do his post Europa League press conference because we didn't hear nothing from him. So yeah, man. Wonder how this affects our women's team as well, because ain't they meant to be playing as well at a couple of fixtures at the Emirates, which is obviously good to raise that side of the game. Villa versus Southampton is expected to go ahead on Friday evening. So it seems like we might be playing Brentford this weekend, people. Again, is it loading? I don't know if this makes sense, people, but apparently Villa versus Southampton expected to go ahead. This is on Friday, so surely that's a precursor of the following weeks. Every game in the UK at every level, from Premier League to grassroots, was postponed across Friday, Saturday and Sunday as a mark of respect following the death of Queen Elizabeth II. The Premier League has yet to confirm whether or not the whole top flight schedule will resume this weekend ahead of the late monarch's funeral on Monday, the 19th of September. But it's understood that West Midlands Police have given the go-ahead for the 8 p.m. kickoff at Villa Park on Friday. Nottingham Forest are due to face Fulham at the same time that evening, but the authorities have not yet confirmed whether that game or the other 7 across the weekend will also be given the green light. Brighton and Hove Albion's clash against Crystal Palace has already been postponed on safety grounds. The Queen's funeral will demand the rollout of an unprecedented security and policing operation with a focus firmly on resources in the capital. It's been estimated that 10,000 police officers will be on duty, with local Met forces numbers supplemented by colleagues drafted in from other parts of the UK. Tottenham are due to host Leicester on Saturday evening before Arsenal visit Brentford in a London derby. Chelsea are allegedly at home to Liverpool on Sunday afternoon. So it could be a decent weekend of content. Happy birthday, DG, to the DG Nation, and thanks for providing the content. Come on, you know the value you add to the football media community. Your ambition will equivalent. Good luck on reaching 100k. Appreciate that. And where I want to get that is because you can flip and fucking talk to someone, people, on YouTube when things are going wrong. You actually have a direct source of content. That's the Premier League, man. Right now, if it was in content, I'm in League One still. It's calm, Jamie Vardy lifestyle. There's a tenacity and ruggedness that is required from a fullback for me to consider you a good defender. Same. And for me, reading of the game. Like, there's players at Arsenal that are informed, but I don't think they're good defenders. There's a guy playing that isn't in the starting lineup who I think is our best defender at the aspect of defending, heading, 1v1, smelling danger, tucking in, closing the cross, being tight when you need to get tight. Sometimes a big part of defending is to let someone go past you. Many people don't get that. You let people go past, you can't always win. It's about navigating them into certain scenarios and areas. If you're playing the Mo Salahs, the Eden Hazards, all these guys in the Premier League or historically top leagues, you're not going to shut them out all the time. Vinicius Junior if you're playing in La Liga and that. It doesn't work like that. So yeah, it's a bit mad how there's a lack of resources though to cover this. I do hope we play because I do want to watch Arsenal versus Brentford, but at this point, nobody knows, people. Absolutely nobody knows what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, or what's going to happen. We're just going to have to deal with anything that's thrown our way, folks. Really. So, yeah. We'll have one last look on goal.com because I can't see shit. Don't forget, people, you know what? We might as well just be watching stuff. 2:50. We are watching Hayland, All or Nothing, and probably some others. Apparently, Wayne Rooney handed a debut to a 15-year-old in MLS. Right. Not anything on goal.com. Hazard getting criticism. Ronaldo getting criticism for meeting Jordan Patterson. Crazy. Malacia has learned that. Exactly. That's what you need to be. I wouldn't even say he's learned that yet. You're a young man that's been there 2 minutes, but him versus Saka was a good battle, like Tomiyasu versus Sancho last year. He'll learn that. I like Malacia. He likes to he likes to tackle tough. Sometimes gives dumb fouls away, but you expect that of a kind of raw player. But that's a big part of defending. You can't always just win tackles and everything. Good morning, my broski. I'm okay with the postponement for now. Gives Partey and Smith Rowe time to get fit, assuming they get fit. One day we'll have a conversation about managers exposing youths to the first team a bit too early. I hear that. Arsenal ain't been great with signing defenders for a while, but a couple of the guys have come in recently and look like they can step up. Amen. RIP Chris Cabot, 100% of the time. One day we'll get well. I hope we get justice, man, and I feel it for his family. And, you know, the fallout with that case is quite disgusting. You know, they're saying he died at a certain time, but he's made a call from his phone at a certain time. They're saying the body's in one place in London and then it's in another. Could you imagine what the fuck you're putting a mother through, let alone seeing her, finding out her son's died? It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. There's no words for it. What's your preferred back four? It all depends, but if it was a game where it's a must-win, Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu, Tierney, Gabriel, Saliba. I don't know, man. I don't know. You'd have to talk to the relevant sources. You'd have to talk to the relevant sources about why games are potentially being postponed or not. I don't know, man. To be fair, our last few defender signings have been great. I mean, that's what he's saying. Morning, Didi. Do you think Arsenal should be doing better to sign players from the Championship and lower leagues in England? Anywhere. There's players everywhere, bro. Everywhere. You never know. Everywhere. You know, emerging markets. Obviously, there's things that go against us, but we need to be finding these youths as well. If you can find talented players in the Championship, it is what it is. No, Ben White. He said, I wouldn't have Ben White in my strong light. If you put a gun to my head, we need to win this game or they're going to blow my brains out. I'm going with Tomiyasu, Tierney, Saliba, Gabriel, personally, Ramsdale behind them. I like Ben White. He could do his thing there, but to answer the question, that was that. All right. I like Ben White. I don't think he's a better defender than Gabriel. Gabriel has the bozo moments, but I do think people are reverting up the Fulham game stupid. Think he was exposed against United like the rest of them. Don't know why he's doing that slide tackle, but generally he's been good and has been good for us. Saliba will learn some lessons, but I like his calming influence. I think between Tierney and Tomiyasu, the pure aspect of defending, like the pure aspect of being a defender, just defending, like I said, the pure art form of defending, for me, it's between Tierney and Tomiyasu as to who are the best defenders at the club. Ramsdale, there's not much to pick from in goal. I like Ben White. And I do, you know, he had a good performance against Zaha, but I don't think your strengths are defensive right now. I think if I was describing you, I'd love to have you in my five-a-side team. You like to go forward, you like to play passes. Sometimes I think, like Gabriel, you do dumb-ish. They all got bozo moments, you know. They all do bozo things. Saliba's had a couple that's gone unpunished. Gabriel's got it. Ramsdale does it, you know. All of them do it, all around the whole squad. With Gabriel, I'm not going to lie, you need to kind of flush that out now. Because if someone came in with a suitable offer, I might consider it, if I'm honest with you. We got Martinelli's in the... Not everyone's going to be a Martinelli, but yeah, would you stick Zinchenko in midfield? Yeah, why not, bro? You can do a lot worse. I want Zinchenko to play in midfield, especially when we ain't got no one else, really. Tierney and TT were so good last season. People forget how much their injuries made our defense so meaty towards the end of the season. And that's what I like with the introduction of Ben White going back over to right back on occasion. Pardon me, and obviously Zinchenko, because against United we probably needed more of the trench babies, but it's not, no matter how good you are, if you're not fit, it's a myth, innit, really and truly. So pardon me, it's calm to have them. It's good problems, man. You know, I wouldn't say just Arsenal fans. I'm sure fans of everywhere else. But for me, it feels like Arsenal fans waffle about we need depth, we need players. Then we start getting some depth and players. People start getting giggity. Oh, this guy can't play. This guy's career's done. They forget it's 38 games. We've got more games this season. We're already having injuries. And as Arsenal, as a club, we should, regardless if we've got 2 games or 38 games in the season, we need to have that tax to assume that bodies are going to drop like flies because something hasn't been addressed for years at this football club. Turner makes me a bit nervous. I think his ball distribution in the Europa League was good. Unfortunately, through no fault of his own, we didn't get to keep a clean sheet. There was a moment, I think, where it might have even been Gabriel. He saved the shot off the line. I'm not convinced in Matt Turner, but I'm going to give him a chance in it. I'm not really convinced in him. Pre-season's harsh to judge someone. I'm not convinced. Weren't really tested against Zurich, but I'm not convinced really. I think we're into a lot of problems if Ramsdale, touchwood pause, gets injured. But I hope he can prove me wrong, man. The best ability is availability, bro. And at Arsenal, the shit man are always available. Not on a bad mind thing. The good players always got nonsense. This is why, for me, I've given up with Partey. Not that. Obviously, off the field, things need to be addressed when the time comes. And if you did that, rub him out. Football's the least of yours, but it don't matter how good you are if you never play. If Messi had all this ability but was only fit twice a season or 10 games a season, not doing what he's done in the game, really. It don't help me unless we lose a game and man want to sit here and say, well, if we had this guy, we might have been able to do this. That's dead. They're not here. We've been seeing it now. I think Zinni's best position is where Xhaka is, but he's locked in at the moment. Long live the king of content, DG. Dermot, never a king, man. Man of the people, man. Appreciate you. DG, how do I get foreign players to get work permits in FM? Can I loan them anywhere, or does it have to be in the UK? If they can get a work permit in the UK at a loan club, then you can loan them wherever you want, but you probably need to set up an affiliate club. We're playing Football Manager at 4:30, people, just after we obviously watch the first 2 episodes of this Hale End doc. So, yeah, man. David, where's that comment? Someone asked about David Partey's fitness, not a clue, my guy. Someone asked about David Dein. He was literally just speaking about Arsenal and how we left and things like that, man. Yeah, that's what I would do, bro. But yeah, bearing in mind, if you loan them somewhere bookie, they're not gonna play or they're not gonna develop as good as they can. So just bear that in mind. I'll take that, man. I don't like the work. I'm a man of the people, man. I'm one of them. It's like whenever I meet you lot in the flesh, you lot like, why are you so humble? This and that, man, bro. I'm just a normal guy. I just happen to make content and that. What do you want, man, to do, bro? Man, this is me, innit? Like, I'm a man of the people, bro. Like, I'm just the face of this. You lot, if you lot don't support the thing, hit the like button, get your questions in, support it day in, day out. It's a myth. It's like football clubs without fans, bro. Like, the fans don't support it, doesn't matter. Like, I'm just the face of it. You lot are the engine, man. I'm Gabriel Jesus. You lot are the Xhakas and that. Don't listen to GG FFP breathing down his neck and you wait for looking at him for under the table payments to flex. Hey, you gotta do beaky things in FM, man. Shout out Fury, my guy. The first ever guy who bought DG merchandise. My guy, what a cool guy, man. Shout Riley as well. You're a spud, but you're all right, man. As far as they go. You and Cucurella, no, I'm joking. He said, Hugh Izzy are definitely my favorite football content creators. It's a shame we don't do content together, man. We probably won't ever again. Shout him, though. Just out of pure, no bad blood, just out of pure principle. Purely principle. It will never say never, but I'm pretty convinced. Hey, if you want to be a lit manager, you got to do booky things. Wenger was doing booky things. Ferguson was doing booky things. Jose was doing booky things. I had to do booky things. Sometimes you got to do dirty things to live clean, man. You got to, man. You got to. You have to do this thing. I don't know where we were going with that, but shout out you lot regardless. Oh, man, you lot kill me sometimes. Apparently, ex-United man Rojo saw red for kicking an opponent in the head. Rojo doing Rojo things. You and X for the North London derby would be an interesting watch. Your ball knowledge versus his entertainment. I big up expressions, but that done is different. There must be a never dull day at a family event with shout rants as well between him and Rants, bro. Their podcasts were someone at this point, they must be writing the script because them two, they're too elite, man. They got wordplay for days on end. Big up the man them. I'm extremely excited by Nketiah. I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I like the fact that you're showing a bit of something now. You know, it's now if you can do the rest, let's see what go on. Nah, hey, listen, you got Bergerac, you got Cucurella, you got light-skin Cameron, Jerome, Curtis Shaw. You know, it is where it is. Really, everyone's got one. It is what it is, man. Eddie looked like he wants to be great, and Jesus is a perfect man. I hear that, but for Eddie, I'm not gonna lie. Have you got the juice? Because right now you're sure you can be part of the squad. There's a role for you here, but if another striker in a hypothetical world became available, like if there was a Giroud on the market, I think right now is the time to go do it. Target man can connect with the smaller, more technical players, offer something a bit different. You know, who knows? And obviously, you got to let Balogun develop. But if Balogun comes back 30, you got a good problem to make. Both could be used in the squad. Someone could be making funds for this team. Because I keep saying that's what the academy's got to do, bro. You know, that's what the academy's got to do. You always, I want the impossible dream, as I always say. I want a whole 11, a whole 15, 16, 17, 18 man match day squad, 25 players of academy prospects. That will never, from goalie to striker, that will never happen. But I want that. If not everybody can make it here, some people can be part of the first team for a couple of years. Some people are going to do the Saka thing. Some people are going to be good but not good enough and just have to be moved on. Some people, we might make the wrong decision. We might sell them and they look a bit dirty, but we need to do that really and truly. Joe Willett made 30 million for this club. Ainsley could have made 20, 25. This is what it's got to be able to do, man. Especially as when we've tried to, obviously, Rafinha, we was his third choice. Chelsea had Champions League. They were his second. Barcelona was the one that had his heart. You know, maybe if you got Champions League football, you could have went toe-to-toe a bit more beyond the obvious for Rafinha. Iwobi made peas as well. You know, for Pedro Neto, for maybe Paqueta. Half of these household names or Premier League dons, we all know it goes one way. We're linked with them. We start hearing the agent likes us. Someone's got a connection, you know. Arteta cheated, you know, what his agent's wife. There's always some sort of link up between the two. They share the same rivalry. I mean, the same client agency. And then for some reason, the move doesn't work. We need to be able to be self-financing. So if we need money, because we can't go toe-to-toe if City ever want to play us, Chelsea ever want to play, etc., we need to be a bit smarter. We need this academy to be self-financing. We need to make sure players that there might be some players in that first team that could be sold on. I'm not saying I want to sell Lukonga, but just say that you could improve him a bit, but he's not quite good enough. Could you make a little upgrade on the initial investment? Marquinhos, I hope he becomes a real player at Arsenal. But if not, can you make triple that? Can you make triple that 3 million you spent? Can you turn that 8 million on Tavares into something? You know, if Matt Turner's a dud, can you get your bread back? I don't know. Would you take Asensio on a free? I wouldn't be against it, but I just think he's going to want to be one of the highest earners. I think in his position, we want a different profile. So I wouldn't be against it, but I wouldn't move heaven and earth. But if certain things are being said, why not, man? I shout out to you, my dude, man. Appreciate the Twitch gang and the kind words. That body transformation has me convinced he's committed to improving. I do agree he's a bit too similar to our current stuff. No, I mean, Eddie's shown that you can be part of the squad. For me, you know, you need to show you can score. And there's been a couple of, you know, last couple of games, he's come off the bench and done quite well. But if I'm judging him harshly, which I have to judge him a bit harshly now because you're a rotation, you're the second choice option striker, he should have bagged. I like the energy. I like him putting in the shift. If I look at it cynically, I shouldn't praise you for that necessarily. You should be doing that. I like the fact of he might not be scoring, but you're involved. You know, you're getting, whether you're playing on the left or through the middle, you're starting to win fouls, you're winning the ball back, you know, you're bringing energy, you're doing things other than just standing there. You know, it's what you do without the ball. But, you know, whether that's good enough, I don't know. But you've got a role. Keep improving in it, Eddie, really and truly. It will be made some funds for the club as well. So you can't disagree with that one. That's pretty fantastic logic still. So it really is what it is in that regards. Appreciate you lot. You lot doing what you can, people. It's been a mad. I don't even know. Why is there nothing? I mean, the most exciting thing, Jorginho's got a Champions League tattoo. It's one of them days, man. It's one of them days, people. Crazy. Shao Felix reacts to talk of. He's hardly going to say anything different, innit? Perfect analysis. And I mean, it just shows Eddie, a lot of these footballers, you don't get time in football anymore, especially at the top clubs. And I'm talking about the wider footballing fan base. You know, if you're, I don't know, if you're decent at 16 and you're not there at 18, they're onto you. And it's not nice. Thoughts on Lampard turning Iwobi into a midfielder? I mean, Wenger always said that was him, innit? And he's thriving there. Shout out the Polish ones tuned in. Appreciate you lot. You lot need to get on your scout and find the next Lewandowski and that for us, man. We need this is what we need to be doing. Go in Czech Republic, Croatia, Poland, Brazil, Serbia, because Serbia, Partizan, all them dons there. Obviously, what goes against Arsenal is the work permits. Again, sometimes these players in these countries don't qualify and take a bit of a chance, man. I don't know how we got Odegaard for 25 million, but it looks like a bargain. But I must admit, I think Odegaard is doing well, but he could go up several levels, man. And I do want to see a bit more from him, if I am completely honest with you guys. I think you go hiding in away games a bit too much. It's not even hiding. I just want to see a bit more. What about Africa? Go look around Africa. Everywhere, bro. Everywhere in this world, if you can. You know, we used to get youths from Ivory Coast. They go Belgium for a sec. We'll go and bring them through. Go and do that. You know, go and do that. If you can find Mane when he's looking for his first little inroads into Europe, why not? Why not? Again, work permits go against us and things. We're still the second youngest squad in the Prem. Growth is happening, but some guys are gonna, you know, very rarely do you see a football team stay together. You know, as much as I want it, it's naive to expect all of these players, the good ones, to stay together. And also, people develop at different rates. You know, Saka might excel at this right now. Eddie, you know, look at how Saka went all the way. Eddie hasn't done anything like that, but he got an opportunity last year. He's finally starting to show up. Smith Rowe had to go Huddersfield for a sec, come back, and he was 30. Everyone's developing at different rates. The whole league ain't just going to wait for us to go, all right, Arsenal, youngest squad, everyone's there now. Odegaard, Lokonga, Saka, Martinelli, Saliba, Gabriel, Ramsdale, Zinchenko even. All of these guys, you lot ready now? Yeah, boom. Everyone's not going to wait for that. You know, everyone's not going to wait for that. What do you think of Marquinhos leaving on loan? Well, he's got 6 months, or I don't know if my maths is good, but he's got 6 months to show something different. In a selfish point of view, in terms of getting football, improving his stature in the game, confidence, all of that jazz, then it makes 100% sense to go and let him go on loan and things like that. From an Arsenal point of view, if you're not going to get a body in, then it's a problem, innit? I know if he went on loan tomorrow, which you can't, you've got Reece Nelson there, but if he gets injured, what happens there, really? Because you could argue, even though I'm not against Pepe going, we got a loan fee, some of the wages. You hope he does well at Nice and he's able to keep it moving. You could argue, in terms of a body, if we knew we weren't bringing in a winger there, whether you rate Pepe or not, you'd rather him just hold up the bench, really. So in terms of selfishly going and getting football, it makes sense for Marquinhos. From an Arsenal perspective, then you leave yourself even more short, and it would echo kind of last January as well, where we left ourselves short. We went into the January market and left with less than what we had. I wish I knew what's wrong with Thomas Partey. I don't know. I like Anthony. Stunk up the place against Sociedad, but I like Anthony. I do think with football, I'm not saying United fans or football fans in general, but you're going to be a hero one week, shit the next week and stuff. You know, obviously he's got a need to show consistency. Obviously, he's been signed for big money. He's an exciting player. There's a degree of expectations. I think he'll do all right, man. I hope he doesn't do too well as a selfish Arsenal fan, but I like Anthony a lot, man. I don't think he was amazing against us, but I think he was a consistent threat, and I just think he's a good player still. I like Anthony a lot. Must be nice having a winger. Must be nice, man, bringing in a winger when you need it. Must be nice. I actually can't relate still. Do you know what, with Sane, he does struggle with injuries. I don't know for his injury record, but he did historically struggle with injuries, so there is some sense in that. I would take Sane if I could. I mean, we did did Bayern Munich play? What did Bayern Munich play? Inter Milan. He looked good. I think selfishly, not that it's a problem, I just think Sane's final ball isn't good enough, even though he did well with Kingsley Coleman in what led to the own goal for the second. I don't think his final ball is as good as I thought it would be for Sane at this moment in time. I think his touches and he's not as polished as I thought he'd be, but Sane's welcome at Arsenal for me, really. Do you rate Szoboszlai? He's lit still. He's been playing off the flanks more, like inverted off the flanks a lot more than I thought. Not really hitting the heights projected, but I do like him. I don't quite. I think he's more likely to do the Xhaka role. I don't think I would put him in the Partey role. But I hear that. But yeah, I would say I rate him. Not really doing the mad thing, but yeah, good little player he is. Why not, man? I'd love Tonali, but the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Unless you're going to blow them out of the water and make a massive, massive bid, he's got no reason to leave. He's an AC Milan fan. Italians, yeah, you do get a handful of Italians moving. Shamaka, Verratti's playing in Paris, but typically they're happy there. He's playing for a massive club. Pardon me. He's obviously happy. They're in Champions League, Scudetto and all of that. You know, it makes sense. Unless you're going to offer them, you need to buy them, man, when they're at Brescia before. Unless you're going to offer something that's more than he's worth, which technically you have to do for the bigger players. It's a myth. There are starting to feel, it's not from confirmed sources, but rumors are starting to filter in that Arsenal versus PSV could be postponed. But you know how the internet is, people. So I'd wait until it's official. What midfielder would you want to see Arsenal target in the January transfer window? I don't know, man, because the Carlos Soler's, the Fabian Ruiz's, them sort of man there. If there's guys like that are about, get them done, man. But them sort of guys are not there anymore, innit? They're the ones I wanted. We'll just have to wait until some more pop up on the scene. I feel like we need to be more ruthless with our stars, get serious competition, make them insecure. To be fair, there is comp, but yeah, man. The thing with Arsenal, always two pieces short, man. You know, we'll sign a striker, we have no cam. We'll sign a cam, we got a striker, we get a striker and a cam. We ain't got the engines behind them. We sign a left back, we ain't got no right back. We'll sign a left back, right back, two decent defenders. We ain't got a decent goalie. This is just historically. We love being so close, but so far. And I hope that obviously these things changes. And I do like Tonali's mentality, but we're not grabbing them kind of man there, really, if I'm honest with you. We've got no chance. We can try, but there's no realistic chance there, man. You've got to put the P's down. DG, when do you think the Italian clubs are going to start making real noise in the Champions League again? Good question. I don't know, I don't know. I think they probably need a next crop of great Italian players, man. For Juventus, I think they got to get rid of Allegri. That Moretti guy, obviously, we watched him at under-19s level over the summer. He's getting a lot of starts for Juventus. Not setting the world alight, but he's lit. There's a lot of cultured Italian midfielders coming around. I think AC Milan are developing an elite squad. If money was no object, man, I'd love Rafa Leao, bro. You see his finishes especially the second one, in the Milan derby. Could have grabbed them, man, there when they left Sporting for free, I swear, when they were at Lille. But is well it is, man. That'll be a great option up front as well as off the left. But the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Tonali be lit. The players I want, we can't get. I wouldn't mind Ruben Neves, but are we going to put the bag down? I just want us to pick up the files of Douglas, Luiz, Danilo, and Telemans again, man. Who's your favorite player outside of Arsenal right now? Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, Ansu Fati, Osman Dembele, Raheem Sterling, Sancho, Pogba when fit. Anyone Brazilian doing mad things right now? Kovacic, I know he plays for them, man, but he's lit. Verratti lit. The ballers in it. If you're a baller, then I like how you play. Asu Pedri, Gavi. The ballers, man. Happy 6th birthday to this channel. Come on, 6 years. They say you got to put in 10 hours, and I'm kind of putting in that logic with 10 years, so 4 more years, man. When was I actually checking? I mean, if we go on Social Blade, where you lot can actually see analytics, people, of channels and that. If we go on future projections, like if we go on Vinicius Jr. as well with Valverde, anyone who can play ball, man, in the next 2 months, we should get 50,000. And they're saying by the end of 2023, we should have 77. And in a couple of years, we'll have just short of 500,000 people. But we got to keep going. Sometimes I get so vexed about my channel. I think it's not going anywhere. And obviously, the way what you earn is very volatile, especially in this in general. Like you can have some months is good, some minutes is bad. We still got bills to pay. You can get really depressed. I try and think about the long term, and I really try and think about the long term. I guess this is, you know, you just got to stay resolute. You know, this is just the struggles of a struggling content creator, innit, people? But we keep going, man. On our 6th birthday, as I said, appreciative to you. Like you would have known in 2016 we'd be here. So we're scheming still. We're scheming. Switched out to Twitch. Twitch is still alive and what the fuck is that? Twitch is still alive and kicking as well. Future projections. It's going to take us a bit longer. You know, by the end of 2023, we'll get our goal of 10,000. That's what we're scheming on. I don't want to finish the year like this, though. I really wanted to get 10,000 Twitch followers by the end of the year. We go again. You don't always hit goals, man. You don't always hit goals. It just, things have to change. I think if Leo had come to the Prem, it would have hampered his development. At Milan, he's progressed with the team without a major spotlight. Probably to in an English point of view. I don't know if people in Italy would agree, but you're right still. You were very right, man. He'd be lit still. Let's make that a timestamp as well. Lead by action. Done now. Don't forget to like and subscribe for extra live streams and videos. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Don't forget, people, in just over an hour, we're going to be on, you have to be on Twitch. Again, Twitch are a bit kinder. We'll be watching the Halen Doc episodes 1 and 2, and then 4:30 we'll be playing FM still. So make sure you're there for that one. I hope everyone's having a great week, people. And them things there. 146 likes. That's lit. So yeah, on that note, I'm gonna go have my lunch and then I'll see you lot in a bit. As usual, people, thank you very much for supporting the thing. Especially thank you for the happy birthday messages. We're growing a fantastic platform. We have grown a fantastic platform. So yeah, appreciative to you lot, man. Without you lot, it would be dead. PSV game called off. Is it official though? Like, is it official sources? I guess we're not going anywhere right now, people. For fuck's sake. Is this official PSV.com though? I don't know, man. I'm going on official PSV.com before we get out of here, people. Official thing. Oh shit, it's looking like it's the official thing still. It is looking like the official thing. I can't lie, people, you know. Again, if anyone's hacked their website or anything foolish, it's a bit mad. But PSV have jumped the gun, you know, and they've said it's off. You know, Arsenal versus PSV is still postponed. UEFA report this to PSV on Monday afternoon. Last weekend, it seemed that the game would be played next Thursday, but the national authorities in Great Britain have decided that insufficient deployment of police personnel is possible due to the funeral services of British Queen Elizabeth in London. It's not yet known when Europa League match will be made up. More information about this will follow. First things first, you know, safety is paramount, is the main priority. Second of all, fortunately for any traveling PSV fans or any Arsenal fans, however they get into the game, being denied football off the back of Everton and potentially Brentford on the weekend. Obviously, we're running the potential of a fixture pile up now. Obviously, we're now missing. Everton's got to be replayed. Brentford's got to be replayed. This has got to be replayed. Already in a condensed fixture schedule where there is injuries and obviously there's a World Cup. So we're going to have to see what's happening, people. But you hope Brentford game can happen. So yeah, man, and yeah, again, it is at home. Maybe if it was away, we could have operated differently. But yeah, man, apparently Charles Watts has also announced it on Twitter. So it is what it is, people. You'd imagine Arsenal are also preparing their statement, but it looks like, you know, PSV have jumped the gun and they'll be going first. So we'll be playing it again. When? I don't know. But yeah, man, I thought we'd get that one out. As I said, people, appreciative of all of you lot supporting the content in whatever way, shape or form you do. Make sure you're checking my description and following on socials. Stay blessed. Have a great week. I'll see you in just over an hour. Twitch as well. 2:50 we'll be watching Halen, the first 2 episodes of this Halen thing. Then obviously 4:30 we're playing FM, people. Stay blessed. Stay safe. I'll buck you lot again.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like. There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like.